Hello, welcome back to Funtime Crafts 24/7. This is a Let's Make video, and what we're playing with today is we are going to play with the Griffin waterfall dies. This is your inspiration right here that comes with your sheet of dies. It makes a waterfall card in that you have several pictures on the front of the card and you pull a tab. And they do like this whole flipping technique. And then when you flip it over, there's a spot for a message on the back. So this would be like the front of the card. And then this would be the back of it. And then they also have an example where you can use it on a scrapbook page. That makes a really fun interactive element as well. And that is really cool. You open up the pamphlet and it gives you your cutting and assembly instructions. And how to put it all together and everything. It's a really fun set. So in a sense, this actually is quite large. Your largest, like, usage die is about 6.5-ish, by 7 3/8 or 7.5-ish. This one here is like 11 by 1 1 1/8 or something like that. It comes with your base die. So basically you have to cut 2 of these. That the instructions say to cut 2 of these. I cut 3. 1 of this piece here. This is your pull tab, and you're supposed to cut 1 of those, but I cut 2. And then this is a strap that holds it helps to create the sliding mechanism piece, and you're supposed to do 1 of those. And so I've already cut out a bunch of the pieces, but let me show you actually what it is that we're going to end up making. And I've done a mock-up version. We're not making the mock-up version. We're going to make something similar to it. I ended up going a little bit bigger than this one, primarily because I wanted to utilize the large envelope postage system. Basically, if you create something that is 6 1/8 by 11.5, and your envelope, if your envelope is 6 1/8 by 11.5 inches, minimum size, you can go at large envelope rate through the post office. And what did I kind of got a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I'd be using together, put it on the postage scale. It weighed out at about 8 ounces, and if you send it first class, you end up with like $3.49 rather than having to send it at like a parcel rate or something like that. So you can create your own, and then you end up being able to send up to 3/4 of an inch thick is what the large envelope rate ends up going. So what I'm going to create today instead is an 8 by 10 version of this mock-up. So basically what I did was I wanted to get some of the kinks worked out for putting it together. So I went ahead and kind of did this, like I said, a little prototype. And so basically what the dies create is this portion here, not this border, but this section here. And this is what it actually does. You pull this tab down here and it does this. Isn't that cool? It flips all the little pictures, and it's called a waterfall die set. Isn't that fun? What a great little interactive element, right? And then I wanted it to stand up on the table, whereas when you do the card is literally this, and it, like, you'd have to display it in an easel or prop it up against something or something like that. And so I thought putting in a card base would be, you know, really fun, and then it could stand on the table and you could, you know, show it off, which would be a hoot. So I'm also, the other thing is I wanted to do, I'm not going to do this size here. This holds 4x6s is what you're actually supposed to cut out, is 5 4x6 photos, or get 4 4x6 photos, to utilize this, die set. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to cut out 5x7 frames. So let me show you how it goes together, the actual base of the card, and then we're going to continue and do the version that I've put together. So I'm utilizing Griffin's Astrid cardstock. This set right here, Astrid, double-sided, and these are double-sided, but they're the same. front and back. This is just really nice because it's like 300 GSM. It's super thick. So for this to work really nice, you want to use really thick cardstock. At least that's what I found works the best, is the 300 GSM. So what I've done is, so here's what you're supposed to cut out. You're supposed to cut out 2 bases. You're supposed to cut out one of the scored pieces like this, and then you fold on all these score lines like this. And this actually goes in this orientation because this folds over one of the base pieces to create the slider. You cut out one pull tab, and then you cut out one of the bands that secures this piece to the base. I additionally cut out one more pull tab, and then one more base piece, and this is to give me sturdiness and to make the back smooth, so the transition of the pulling is smoother. So now let me show you how this goes together. So let's see, you need score tape or glue, or both. Longevity, you probably want to use glue, but you can do like I'm doing it and just use score tape. I might actually do both, I don't know. But basically what you want to do is you want to take one of your bases, like this. You want to take your tab piece here. You want to fold on all the score lines. Make sure they're all nice and burnished really good. And you might even think about going the other way as well. There's 5 score lines you want to do. And I folded mine both ways because what happens is this essentially does a whole rolling technique. This all moves up. So this gets secured to this, and then this whole thing, it like rolls up like that. And that's how all the pictures flip. So that's why you want to have this like nice, and the score lines worked really good. So if you fold it back on itself, loosen up the fibers to help it do the flipping technique, this will just make your life a lot easier when you go to do the pushing and the pulling of it. And it'll just make it work nicer. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put score tape on the back of this top rounded tab. You're going to put just on the one tab. Like so. And this is where once you get the backer tape on, you want to burnish that down really good. And then once you get the backer tape off, you can also put adhesive on the back of this as well. So you get a permanent hold as well. And then what you're going to do is, on the top of the base piece, you're going to line this up in the center. You're going to kind of fold this over, and you want to center it up from each side. You got about 1/8 to 1/4. It's like 1/8-ish. And you're just going to kind of make sure that everything is like nice and happy, that it's even at the bottom down here. The sides look good. And then you're just going to fold this over and press. And just be sure to burnish it down really nice once you get it where you like it. Like so. And you can even use your bone folder and press that down really good to make sure it's permanent. Like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to go ahead, and I cut out 2 of these. You only needed 1, but I cut out 2. And I'm going to adhere these together like this, back to back. And with score tape, I might even do some glue as well. Yeah, I'll probably do some glue. I don't like to do glue on foil just because it, sometimes you can see it. So then I'm going to line these up. don't see this, but it seems like it just makes it more sturdy with this. And then what you want to do is you want to put score tape at the top edge, the flat side of this tab on the front. And then what you're going to do is you're going to line this up at the bottom. You're going to take and just wherever it looks the nicest to you, because this is your pulling mechanism. Wait. Wait. Oh, that's... No, it's crooked. It's a little crooked. Oh, that looks good. So now we'll just burnish that down. And then what I found is this like impeded sometimes when you're doing the pulling thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the back, this other layer on the back to make it all nice and smooth. So when it does the pulling action, it just transitions much nicer, more freely. And it makes it stiffer too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop some score tape on this. And also use glue as well. There we go. Just going to line this up on the back. Oh wait, glue. Glue on that tape gives you a bit of shimmy as well. So it's pretty good to do that sometimes. So then I'm going to line this up on the back of that front pull tab. Wait a minute. And honestly, where you want this to look the best is on the front. So I would definitely probably line it up on the front instead. Like this. And then make sure it's all nice and secured. Like so. Like this. Oh, get your glue off if you have any overage. And then this should give you a smooth transition by doing that. So now you have that, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece here, and there's two score lines, and you're going to, the one in the middle is the one, and you're going to make sure it's lined up at the top there. And then, but actually you want to wrap this around. And what you're going to do is this, you're going to, the directions say to make sure this is up like 1.25 inches from the bottom, but I just make sure that when this is sitting flat on the front, that this piece is up above the edge, which that's probably about 3/8 or something like that. So it goes like this, and then what you want to do is you want to wrap this around, depending on how many layers, so that way. You can just do one score line, but don't do both, because when you wrap this around, it'll actually make it to where it'll slide the smoothest and give you the most room. So then what you want to do is you want to flip it over and you want to put score tape on each of these tabs, and glue too, so that way you get permanent adhesion, a permanent hold. And this is what makes it fun. There we go. Beautiful. I love this paper. It's so pretty. And there you go. So let's get ourselves some shimmy too. Some shimmy and... there. So you want to keep these wrapped around, make sure they're where you're at, and then what you're going to do is you're going to line this up on the front of this one, and these two are identical, so they'll just match up. Make sure you're a good, your even space from the bottom of this top flap, right? And line it up. Yep, there you go. Nice. And then what you want to do is you want to glue, you want to put tape on the front of this or glue on the front of this and adhere this piece down to this. But make sure that it's nice and even and flat. Oh man. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, nice and even and flat, like this. Okay. So just lift this up and put score tape on the front. And you saw, hopefully you noticed it's like about, like 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Like that. And this essentially is the card. You attach your photos, and then you put your sentiment on the back. Be sure to just keep it on this tab alone, just this tab. You don't want to glue anything else down. Okay, make sure you're still lined up. You're still lined up. Okay, and then fold this over and make sure it's flat. And then burnish that down really good, because this pulls the waterfall. Okay, and then make sure it works. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold to the back of this, and then see? And that's the waterfall. That's what makes the mechanism work. Like that. And that's your card. So what you're going to do is you're going to attach your 5 pictures to each one of these. And then you're going to put your sentiment on the back. And then that makes your waterfall card. But I'm not going to do a 4x6. So basically what you're supposed to have is you're supposed to have 5 4x6 photos. I don't have 5 4x6 photos. I'm going to do 5x7. And what I've done is I've cut these out. Hang on. I wanted to do 5x7 ones for my photo book, and I think this will work. I think I can still do 5x7. But hang on one second. Let me show you. So I showed you it was the Astra double-sided cardstock. And what we're using is we're using this. Oh, this is one of the frame dies from the last crop at home. 4. It was 4 or 5, whatever the last one was, 4 or 5. It's the rose frames. I cut out some of the lavender, the Anna Griffin lavender matte foil, and then some matte layers for each of the 5x7s. And what I'm going to do is you're supposed to take your 4x6s, and so like the first one that you put on goes below this score line. Like this. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Am I going to be able to do that? Oh, yeah. I still have a pull tab here. So that's cool. You just have to make sure you can see the pull tab is all. And so you're supposed to line it up there. Oh, you're supposed to just adhere it here. But actually what I'm thinking is it will actually work better if you end up gluing the bottom one all the way down. Like you put adhesive on this entire square. Because this one doesn't flip. It just stays stationary. So if you're doing the basic 4x6, you would want to make sure to adhere the first 4x6 below the first score line, below the whole thing down. So let me go ahead and put score tape on this whole bottom piece here. like that. I should have actually put my score tape lower because I think my scallops are going to be impeding. Whoopsie. I think I'm going to go ahead and put glue because I'm doing a matte layer on top. I don't have to really worry about. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this up on the front of that piece there, under the first score line. That looks pretty even to me. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop my mats on as well. I should actually go ahead and put the mats, put all my layering mats. And this, because it's metallic, the score tape will hold it just perfectly. Let me actually put my layering mats on all these frames really quick. And that way when we go to pop them on, they're done. There we go. The first one, isn't that pretty? But let me put the other ones on these. Hold on. Okay, now that I got that done, what I'm going to do is go ahead and adhere the rest of them. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and to make it quicker, I'm going to put score tape in between on each of these tabs, in between the score lines. So you should have 4 left. Like this. I'm hoping this still works. So like that. See how there's the score lines? You're going to go in between all of those on each of those tabs like that. So then just undo one at a time. And then you're going to take the edge of your 4x6 or whatever it is you're using. And you want to line it up. Center it up. Put it on the top of that tab like that. And you're just going to do that all the way up. Whoops. not the backer. So I'm just trying to center it up here. Like that. But isn't that going to be fun? Like, it's like scallopy. Isn't that cool? So 2 more. That was why I wanted to give this a whirl. So I was like, it would be so much prettier rather than just a plain old square. I'm like, right? It looks like it's ruffled. I'm hoping it works. Whoops, not the backer. Now we're just gonna line this up at the top. Oh, like that, and hopefully centered. And press it down. And then look at, so that's what my little waterfall album looks like. And then hopefully it works. Right? Oh my gosh. Isn't that a hoot? That is pretty stinking fun. I think that is really cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, so this essentially would be your card. So you'd have pictures on all of these. You could put something down here like decorated. If this was the actual size, the actual 4x6 size, you could technically it would actually, this piece here would only be like right to here. So then you can you could actually decorate up down here. But mine is a little bit bigger. So now I have an option of, I don't want this to impede anything on here. I don't want anything on here to impede this. So I could put some rub-on transfers down here, something fun. This is going to be for a birthday, so maybe actually, let me get a birthday rub-on. Hold on. Okay, so I found this one here, Wishing You a Fabulous Birthday. These are out of the Anna Griffin, I think, birthday rub-on transfers. And all you do is you just cut your little transfer out, the one you want to put on there. And then you just take the backer off. So it comes on a clear, like you take, this is the backer. And then it has this clear piece with the image. And then you just line it up wherever you want. Be sure to not put it on the paper because a lot of times it'll stick. So don't put it on there unless you're ready. So, okay, I'm hoping this is lined up. And then you're just going to you're going to burnish it down with a bone folder, a popsicle stick, anything that's going to press it and give you a good adhesion, good burnishing. And let's see what that does. So when you're peeling it up, if any part looks like it didn't adhere properly, lay it back down. This one was doing great. Lay it back down and burnish it again, and it'll finish adhering it. But look, isn't that great? So when they pull it open, it'll show wishing you a fabulous birthday. Isn't that a hoot? So you could leave it at that, or we could add some flower transfers on there as well if we want, which I think I have some. Let me look. Let me get the flower ones too. Actually, they're on the table right here. Let's see. I have the Francesca ones, or I have these. I think I'm going to do the Antique Botanical. Something from this collection. Oh, there's the purple ones. I wonder if we could. I wonder what, or if we should do like some flourishes. Oh, that would be pretty fun, huh? Let's see what this. Oh, what about something like, oh, that's kind of dramatic, isn't it? What about this? Let's see what that. Oh, that's pretty fun. I wonder if it would show up. I wonder how it would show up. Let's see. Let's just kind of test it. Oh, that's actually pretty fun, right? What if we do something like that? We'll frame it. We'll put another one right here. We'll try. Let's try it. Doesn't hurt, right? Like, oh my gosh, that's pretty fun. That is pretty fun right there. Look at that beautiful flower. And it looks like it's totally framing it. Right? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's pretty cool. So let's grab this other one too. I was thinking about, oh, or we'll like maybe like that, right? Yeah. And actually you can embellish each of these picture frames as well if you wanted. I hope. Does that looks pretty good, right? I think that's looking pretty awesome. And that, I think, will do it for embellishments on this. Looks pretty fabulous. Oops. So, like, I was seeing little pieces, but now there's nothing. And then there you go. And that's what that looks like. That's pretty fun, right? That is pretty cute. I like that. And it keeps it flat. So now, now we can send it back. And that's what it looks like. So the person would get this. And then they would pull this. And then look, you get that great little surprise on the inside. But then now what you're supposed to actually do is you're supposed to take... Oh boy, there's a mess. Hold on. Okay, you're supposed to take the die, this die right here that's in the set, and you're supposed to cut this out, and this is actually gives you your place to write on the back, and then you can embellish it accordingly. But we're going to put this on our book one. So then you know, put your sentiment on the back here, write your little message and all that, and then this is the waterfall card die. But with the 5x7 and and then embellished with the two pieces and all that funness. But right, isn't that great? Now you could actually add flowers. You could add flowers to each of these pages if you wanted to. You could technically do a double-sided, like do this double-sided and put more pictures on the back if you wanted. It's kind of up to you how far you want to go with this little project here, but I think that is a hoot. And so that's it with the 5x7 front, but you're supposed to do it with the 4x6, but I think this is so cool. Now, on to where a little more altering, where we continue to make it our own. So what I've done is I have the Astrid, still working with the Astrid paper collection. I cut out, we're going to make a book style. So essentially what I like to do is I want this to be my outside cover for my card. And I want this to be on the inside. So when the person gets it, it's going to be like so. I'll have a little binding. This will be here. We'll embellish the front. And then they open it and they get this fun little surprise inside. And then hopefully it will also stand on the table as well. Because these are really thick. I'm hoping that will go as as I'm planning it. Hopefully. So, what we want to do now, though, is we want to put the card base together. So, this is two 8x10 pieces of that Astrid. I cut them down to 8x10. And what I've done also is I cut this heavy black cardstock 10 inches by 1 inch, scored it on the 1 inch side at 1/2 inch. So, I have a 1/2 inch glue tab for each side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put score tape on each side of the tab. Like so. Easy peasy. Not too hard, right? Pretty stinking simple. And I thought it would just be really fun to make a little book album card. And then because we're utilizing the shipping, the large envelope, UPS large envelope, this, you can make this all the way up to 12x15, as big as you want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this is what I want for the front. This is what I want for the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my binding strip. Got these two pieces together. And we're just going to line this up. Put it right in the center. That's why we put glue on it. So that way it will adhere really nice. So now we'll just lay it on the table. And then we'll burnish the bejesus out of it. It almost looks like one of those, what are those notebooks called? Those, oh, we used to get them in, high school or college. Those, they had that black spine. They were usually like black and white, spotted on the front. Composition. The composition books. Doesn't that remind you of a composition book? Okay, but that's what the inside, there was a little bit of smudginess. I just got rid of that for the most part. And so, doesn't that remind you of like a composition book? But we're actually going to cover that part up. And we're going to, I cut these out. These are the Last Crop at Home border dies. Cut same Anna Griffin matte lavender along with that Astrid paper. And this is going to be my spine. I want to do like that. I figured we could even do something like that. Like, how pretty is that? That's actually pretty gorgeous with that black stripe there. I'm kind of loving that. I might do that. Okay, but first things first. We're going to see if this fits in here. I really want to make sure this fits. Because, okay, what we have to do now is we're going to put on this back panel, we're going to glue this to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and on the back panel only, put lots of adhesive. And I think this will be super fun. Like that. And then we'll put glue as well. And then we'll also see if I have to do the border at the top to hold it. the other one was kind of flimsy cardstock, so I had to put the border at the top for kind of a stop, so to speak. So that way it would hold it from wanting to lean out. Okay. Oh, this is so cool. So we'll give it enough room at the top, kind of centering it up a little bit. I think that's enough room at the top. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Might have to put a ribbon on the front. Okay, so let's press this down. Press this down, making sure it's secure. Let's make sure it's also going to work. Look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty fun? Oh my goodness, right? That is pretty cute. And now the test is when we stand it up on... Oh yeah. See, that's why I put that border at the top to hold it like that. So it would come under it like this and hold it from coming out. So let's go ahead and make that adjustment as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two together. So I'm just going to put score tape, 1/4 inch score tape right down the center of those little cutouts, because it'll go. And this is the rose border one from the last crop. We're going to also put glue on it so it stays together forever and ever, until all of eternity. And then some, because it is art glitter glue. It holds the world together. Alright. Oh, but actually we don't... I'm just going to center this up. Like that. Like so. And now what we're going to do is... we're going to figure out where we want to cut this off at. I think actually I'm going to go like this. I'm actually going to trim it there. Actually I'm going to we're going to... I think we're going to just trim it a little bit on both sides. Let's do here. Let's go here. Let's see if that... I want it to be inside the card. Okay, I think that's going to go. And let's... Nope, that's too far. So what we want to do is... I'm going to take some... I'm going to get some... Hang on one second. Okay, I got some Griffin foam tape. I think this must be like 3/8 or something. But what we're going to do is we're going to go at the top. We're going to go right at the top of these. Oh, but don't. Right at the top. Right at the top up there, like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and line, just kind of figure out, like line this up centered up. So the goal of this piece is that when this gets pushed back up to its, beginning state, that this is a stop for it. So the goal is to get this at the top of the, to get this at the top with the foam tape, but also looking as nice as possible on the front as well. Because wouldn't it be, no you can't. But you still have to have it, oh this might be as far as we can go though. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think we're going to go about there-ish. That looks pretty good to me. And we're just going to press that down. Hopefully that's straight. I hope that is. I don't know. It might be crooked. I might have used my crooked eye. Oh, no. Okay, but that's supposed to be like a stop. So now, see, and now it doesn't fall forward. It will, let's see if it works. Ha ha! Oh, Farfignugan. It doesn't work. It's too short. It's too shallow. Yeah, it's too shallow. Shoot. It actually needed to be doubled. Oh, can I? Oh boy, that was pressed on there as well too. That was pressed really good. Oh, hey, we got it though. Oh boy. Let's just see what we can do about this. Whew. That's a sticky situation. That's a little bit. Okay, I think we can fix it though. We can probably fix this. We'll just fill the gap in right here with a little bit of this. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll double stack it. Might even triple stack it. Yeah, see? I wonder if that's going to be low enough. I mean, high enough. I wonder if that's high enough. It seems taller. It seems like as thick as this. Let's try it. I mean, that's the only way we're going to know. Nothing to it but to do it. Here we go, guys. Here we... Oh, and maybe I can use my straight eye this time. Alright. Take two. Action. Oh, shucky darn. Oh, darn you. Oh, now, good night. Settle down. Okay, I'm going to have to hover over the top of it. Sorry if I'm in the way. I'm doing my best. It's been a minute since I made a video. Alright, I think that's good. That looks relatively straight-esque. I think that's beautiful. Now let's see. Oh, that's delightful. It goes that way. Oh, it works. See? It works great. That works great, right? And it looks pretty good. And so the goal was for it to sit on the table, right? That is pretty good, right? That sits on the table looking all gorgeous and lovely. And look at, it's kind of got a waterfall-esque feel to it. I mean, you can load that all up with some pretty photos and things. I mean, that is pretty neat, right? I think that looks pretty cool. And then it helps it stop from going forward. And that works really good. Right? And then you get that great little message. You get the great little message down there. See how cool that is? See how nice that works? That is pretty neat, isn't it? That is pretty neat. Okay, so we got that. And so now for the inside. Well, actually, let's do the outside. Let's go ahead and embellish this. So I've got, like I was saying, I have these borders. Oh, I'm loving the idea of putting those together. Let's see here. What can we do with this? I think I'm going to put mine like that. I think I really like that. I like it with the black. I'm loving that black showing. That's kind of dramatic. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's pretty dramatic. So let me go ahead and glue these coupled together. Let me glue these two together and then we'll adhere them. Hold on. Okay, so I got these glued together. I put 2 strips of square tape on the back. And now I'm just going to add a little glue to give it a permanent adhesion. Help out with the long term keeping it together. So lining it up at the top and then lining it up on the black here. And then gonna just press and then turn it over and then cut the excess off. I've already done the back, as you can see there. Well, maybe I'll flip it over, I don't know. Hey, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. That looks pretty good. And look how beautiful that is. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my goodness. That Astrid paper is gorgeous. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to get some embellishments. So I've got these, a few things I picked out here. And because it's a birthday card, I got a little birthday sentiment. And what I'm using for the front is I'm using the 3D Baroque concentric dies. This is a gorgeous set, as you can tell there. It has a layering, a large intricate with all that embossing. It has an oval to allow you to cut the center out. And then those other extra layering dies for the center. And what I've done is I've used the oval to go ahead and cut the middle out. And I think that is just going to be so pretty on the front. So what I want to do is I want to actually adhere these two pieces together. I don't want to add too much dimension, primarily because I am trying to utilize the mail for this. I do want to send it in the mail. You could make this into a shaker so easy. Just to cut out a piece of acetate with the layering die. 2 pieces. Put one on the back of this. And then one on top of this. And then use foam tape to hold it, well, you could either glue the two together. And that way it'd be just like a thin shaker for the window there. Or you could put foam tape all around it, fill it up, and then adhere the two pieces together. Would be really fun as well. It'd be like the easiest shaker. I thought about turning this into one, obviously. Because I thought, oh, dude, that would be really fun. But I was like, the bulk. I don't know if I want all the bulk, though. Because it's already going to be like, look how thick it is already with that waterfall. And look how pretty. That is gorgeous. So now what I want to do is I want to adhere this to the front cover. I'm going to go cattywampus though. Yeah, I don't think straight. I think cattywampus is more fun. So I'm going to do that. A little score tape and then some glue. God, this would be a fun shaker, wouldn't it? I should do it. No. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. That would have been super fun as a shaker. Okay, and then, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a composition notebook, doesn't it? We could actually add lace and stuff. You could add some lace to this and stuff if you wanted to be a little bit more than just, you know, if you didn't want to use all paper. Look how pretty! You could just do that. A little birthday banner sentiment that has the lavender color on it. Super fun, right? Oh my. What a fun birthday card, isn't it? And then we have these. I got these out of my stash as well. And then we have these gorgeous little flowers here, of which I was going to put that on top of that. And thought that was pretty fun there. So let's pop these down first. Because they're all stickers. And these are Anna Griffin flowers from where I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Mine are all jumbled for posterity. To make it easier just to pilfer through them. More fun. I like to rummage. So we'll pop this on top. And that is done. The front. Isn't this a great birthday card? Oh my goodness. And it's ginormous. It's like for a dear friend, right? There we go. I think that is a hoot. So pretty. You get that gorgeous lavender. Yeah, this is pretty much someone special birthday gift card. And then there you go. That's the front there. And this is a big Mama Jamma. It's 8 by 10. You open it up. Oh my good night. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then you have this fun little waterfall feature with the secret birthday sentiment message, right? You can embellish all these pages too if you want. But we do need to put a little something something here. I think maybe I will grab this, cut out some ivory cardstock to go right here. I think some ivory cardstock right here-ish. That's gonna be kind of boring. Isn't that gonna be so boring? That is kind of boring. Just a little baby square. That's so boring. What if we... But this really isn't... It's either too big or not big enough place to write. Alright, let me... Okay, I might go boring or not. I'm not sure. Hold on. Okay, so I finished it. I couldn't go boring. I did have to add a little bit more to it. So I ended up cutting it out of that same paper and then some ivory with the smallest out of the rose frame dies from the crop at home. Added a little floral embellishment there, and then on this, added some flowers up here. Now, when I did this, I added them at first, and they were sticking down. You can't let them stick down because they'll try to rip the flowers off. And then I added one here, and then one down here, so that way, now when you pull it, you get to flip through all the beautiful, and then it doesn't impede. The stickers don't impede. So whatever border you put on, you'll want to just make sure that your embellishments don't hang down below. Otherwise, these will try to rip them off. A little FYI. So, yeah. So, if you had these even double-sided, like, how fun would that be? Like, if they were all... Like, if this was on the back and they all had pictures, wouldn't that be a hoot? But, anyways, first rendition of the good one. And I still think it came out absolutely beautiful. It stands on the table, so it folds like a book. Like this, like a little composition book, like, right? Isn't that a hoot? And then it stands up on the table, and then it doesn't like try to fall or anything like that. And I think it came out so pretty, and it just looks lovely sitting there. And I think this is a super fun card that anybody would love. It's just, oh gosh, large and in charge. It's so fun. It is really cool. So still have a beautiful place to write something there. And you could even put some captions on the photos and stuff if you wanted to. You could put little details of the photo on the back even. Would be really cool as well. Like who, what, when, where, and all that kind of stuff. And would be really fun. But yeah, let me know what you think of these waterfall dies. Aren't they super fun? And you could even do them in 5x7, which... 5x7, you could do mats, or you could do the frames like this with 4x6s, and that is just lovely, right? And then this is going to go into, I have to do a, let's see, 8.5 by, or 8 1/4 by 11.5 inch envelope, and then that way it'll be able to go at that, 3/4 inch thickness. So what I'll do is after I make the envelope for it, I'll put a piece of cardstock over the top of it. So that way it keeps it like nice and smooth when it transitions through the mail. So I don't think this is 3/4 inch thick. I don't think so. I think I'll be able to get away with I think it'll still be under 3/4 inch. I'm pretty sure, hopefully. And so it should just go out like the 350, because it'll probably weigh out about 8 ounces. Less than 8 ounces, and about 8 ounces is about 350. So that was the whole goal of this and why I did this size. But I think it is super fun, and I think somebody would just, you know, some special type of birthday would get a hoot out of it. This really fun little waterfall picture book card. I think it's just super, super cute. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Guys, sorry I've been MIA, been getting tons of stuff done around here. But I did need to take a break and wanted to do something crafty, and so came up with this. I had been thinking about the waterfall dice for a little while, and wondering, trying to figure out a way to use them, and I think this is pretty cool. So hopefully you guys are having a great spring and beginning of your summer, and things are going well. I appreciate you. Wow, tongue-tied. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and hanging in there with me. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.